Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And something very interesting happened this week. George Lucas's ex-wife, Marcia Lucas, who was instrumental in the editing of the original Star Wars trilogy.
Yes.
Very, very important to Star Wars. In fact, I feel bad that she hasn't been noticed more.
Yeah, we actually knew this.
We did. She has come out and spoken out against Kathleen Kennedy and the handling of the Star Wars sequels. Now, to be fair, she also slammed George for the prequels.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not the way she would have done it. But you know what? Maybe they should have called her up.
Yeah, maybe they should have. That would have been a little awkward, though, I think.
So we're going to talk about this. It just came out in a book by the late, great J.J. Rinzler, who passed away, sadly, over the summer due to cancer. But he did have one final book. I don't know if they have any more books in the pipeline that came out where Marcia Lucas talked about what she thought about the Star Wars sequels. It's not good.
No.
It's really not good. So let's talk about that before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 235,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciated. We do talk about Star Wars, talk about Disney, talk about pop culture, kind of whatever's going on that day. And this has been making the rounds. The book just came out a couple of days ago. And what is getting the most attention is the quotes from Marcia Lucas. So here we go. This is coming from Howard.
Kathleen Kennedy's like, Marcia.
Yeah, Marcia. Yeah, so Marcia Lucas, now I'm thinking Marcia Lucas, former wife of George Lucas, who's kind of become a hermit actually in the last couple of years. She doesn't really talk much, but we're gonna talk about her contributions to Star Wars, and they can't be understated.
No.
I mean, the first movie especially was kind of a husband-wife team collaboration. And of course, he had some friends giving him pointers. And back then, George Lucas used to listen. And people would pull him aside and say, hey, it's not a good idea, George, not a good idea. But a lot of people credit her with saving Star Wars because I guess the first edit was a disaster.
Yeah, I've heard that several times, actually.
So recently released book by the late Lucasfilm biographer J.W. Rinzler, R.I.P. sir. Marcia Lucas had praise for current Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy as a person, but she did not like Disney's treatment of the original trilogy characters. So this is what she said. She said, I like Kathleen. I always liked her. She was full of beans. You know what that means, right?
Shit.
She was...
I'm sorry.
Means she had
She's
P and V.
She's gassy.
She had P and V. She was a go-getter.
I think she's full of shit. That means she's full of shit.
She was really smart and really bright, really wonderful woman. And I liked her husband, Frank Marshall. I liked them a lot. Now that she's running Lucasfilm and making movies, it seems to me that Kathy Kennedy and J.J. Abrams don't have a clue about Star Wars. They just don't get it.
No, they don't. And then came the second movie, and it was like, hold my beer, because Ryan Johnson's even worse.
Yep. J.J. Abrams is writing these stories. When I saw that movie where they kill Han Solo, I was furious. I was furious when they killed Han Solo. Absolutely, positively, there was no rhyme or reason to it. Because Harrison Ford didn't want to do anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But
basically, I thought you don't get the Jedi story. You don't get the magic of Star Wars. You're getting rid of Han Solo.
No, because that was the other mandate. I think it was we kill the past and make it all new, make it all better, make it all women, and make it our glorious diversity and inclusion. Star Wars, because they keep thinking that there was no diversity in the original Star Wars, which isn't true. And, they just wanted to destroy whatever they could from the old characters. That was the mandate, I think.
It's a real shame that there were no women involved in the creation of Star Wars.
I know, right? That it was that was only the last several years.
And then the end of this last one, The Last Jedi, so this was a couple of years ago. They have Luke disintegrate. They kill Han Solo. They kill Luke Skywalker.
Yes, that's why.
They don't have Princess Leia anymore, and they're spitting out movies every year. And they think it's important to appeal to a woman's audience, so now their main character is this female. This female. She doesn't even get a name. This female. This nasty woman doesn't even get name checked, who's supposed to have Jedi powers, but we don't know how she got Jedi powers or who she is. It sucks. The storylines are terrible. Just terrible. Awful.
Amen.
You can quote me. J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, talk to me.
Amen.
Yeah, so a lot of people covering this, a lot of mainstream media outlets covering this. Yahoo picked it up.
They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue.
No.
Agree with you, Marcia. Totally agree with you.
That's not good. But yeah, she worked on a ton of classic movies. The original Star Wars. She returned for Return of the Jedi.
She went on credit on Empire.
Yeah, she went uncredited. Taxi Driver. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. American Graffiti, of course. And you look, it's that editing style, that Star Wars editing style that really set the tone for the modern blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can't really overstate her importance to the franchise. Again, it's a real shame that women didn't have anything to do with Star Wars. So Rinzler, former executive editor at Lucasfilm, he was actually, leading up to his untimely death, he was very critical of
Disney Star Wars.
Disney Star Wars, Disney,
Lucasfilm.
how they have changed the culture at Lucasfilm. That wasn't the same company, and he was kind of on the outs with them, unfortunately. And then we had all stuff come out about writers not getting paid and all this other junk ever since Disney took over. And I think really what Star Wars has become is product. Mm-hmm. It's become product to Disney. Marcia Lucas did get an Oscar for her editing.
We're not just making it up, people.
Not making this up, but yeah, she kind of disappeared down the memory hole. She's been laying low for years. You haven't heard a lot about her. Now, it wasn't just the sequel she slammed. She actually, back in the day, did not like the prequels either. And, she said George is, in his heart and soul, a good guy and a talented filmmaker. I wish he would have kept directing other kinds of movies, but when I went to see episode 1, I had a friend who worked at ILM who took me as a guest to a preview. I remember going out to the parking lot, sitting in my car and crying. I cried because I think it wasn't very good. And
I didn't think it was very good either. The prequels, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I still think they're better than Disney, which is saying something. But
I think my thoughts on the prequels, I don't hate the prequels because I feel like George actually had a story to tell. I think the execution was lacking.
I think the problems with George is he has stories to tell, but they need somebody to rein him in and make the stories work.
Like Marcia Lucas.
Like Marcia. And the problem then is with Disney is, I don't know what the hell their story was they were trying to tell, because I don't think they even knew what the story was they were trying to tell. They were all over the damn place.
The only story they want to tell is to their shareholders.
Yeah, no, the only story they wanted to tell was, how are we going to ruin the men in the old show so we can say it's all about women? And by The Last Jedi, they just shat on them too.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, this is, in Star Wars, I think, is pretty much a lost cause at this point because of Disney's ownership. I mean, we'll occasionally get good Star Wars like The Mandalorian because people working on it actually care, but the difference between, George Lucas, is he created Star Wars because he had a story to tell. Mm-hmm. He didn't create Star Wars to make money. He didn't think he was going to make any money. The studios didn't think he was going to make any money.
He was smart because he got to retain a lot of rights that a lot of people wouldn't have retained.
Because nobody thought he was going to make money,
I have to laugh, though, because for all their hate of penises in Star Wars, they went ahead and made a big character look like a giant penis.
He was. Claude. Was it Claude? Yeah, the big dick.
Yeah.
The big dick. But yeah, so pretty interesting. Will it change anything? No. It will not. Disney, seriously, I mean, George Lucas has spit on Disney Star Wars. Marcia Lucas has spit on Disney Star Wars. Mark Hamill, in a roundabout way, kind of did.
He did. Now he's trying to backpedal.
Well, yeah, because now they're bringing him back in and they're doing right by Luke for now. Until they re-ruin him. They will. They'll re-ruin Luke. But, it doesn't matter who's involved. Kasdans. I think the Kasdans came out and spoke out against
When I didn't like The Force Awakens, I didn't like The Last Jedi, I was told by this one, he was a real treat. I was told by him that I just didn't fundamentally understand the character of Luke Skywalker. And it's like, well, my words to this person is, apparently he doesn't fundamentally understand it either, because the ones that did don't think it was good either. So,
I can't think of anybody who, other than Rian Johnson and his sycophants, that are on board with what they did to Luke Skywalker, including Mark Hamill, including George Lucas, including Marcia Lucas. It's every, Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson.
Most people don't think it was a good idea.
No, not at all.
It was handled very poorly.
But the sad thing about this will change nothing.
No.
Star Wars is lost. It's lost. It's Disney owns it. They're gonna just crap out movies, whether or not people want them, of varying quality from now until the end of time.
Your best bet is any of the shows that are Filoni and Favreau.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
being honest.
This is where headcanon comes into play. This is where you have to, with any aging franchise, you have to decide, what parts of it you want to watch and what parts of it you don't want to watch. I mean, it used to be that, new Star Wars movie coming out was an event. It was a holiday. It was like oh my God, I can't believe we're getting more Star Wars. I'm taking off of work.
Yep.
I'm planning this out 3 months, 4 months ahead of time. I'm taking off of work just to go see a movie I don't want to see, just to see the trailer.
Which, speaking from experience here.
And now Star Wars is just another science fiction franchise, and it's not even the most popular one anymore.
Nope.
So it's really sad.
Good job, Disney.
Good job, Disney. But you know what? They'll still make money off of classic merch from now to the end of time.
Oh, they are. They still do.
They'll sell Darth Vader crap forever. So I guess we're going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.